Here's 3 more pounds. Okay?
And you go into that.
This is crazy.
Let me read a short poem first.
Do it. Look at it. Go right into Mark.
You can't see it now.
So how do I get it back to so I...
Okay, all quiet. Here we go. Mark, you rolling?
Yeah.
Epics, Peter Paragraph, and Paulus Puff. I'm keep soaking them to cover my concerts, to get a hold of for their balloons and shoot you private by surprise. Considering the marriage slump, that's on his oil age, and Pulex's 3 shillings a pint, and wives at 6 and 7, when domestic calamities below me par, and new laids below mar, for the 22-cent time, 12th took, thousands in the slack, march of civilization. Were you becoming guilty of unlucky-like intoxication, to have and to hold, to pig and to pay, direct connection, qua intervener, with a prominent married member of the vice-reeking squad, and in consequence of the therein under subpoenas, be flummoxed to the 2nd degree by becoming a destextified company keeper on the demi-monde of Luca Lamp Light. I'll have no college swankies. You see, I am well voiced in love's arsenal, and all its overtures from Coleon boys to Coleon bonds, so I have reason to know that rogues gallery of nightbirds and bitch fanciers, lucky duffs, and light Lindsays, haughty Hamiltons, and gay Gordons, those doctored and otherwise messing around, skirts, and what their fickling intentions look like. You make up your mind to that, trespassing on your danger zone in the dancer years. If I ever catch you at it, mind it's you that will catch it. I'll tackle you to feel if you have a few devils in you. Holy gun, I'll give it to you hot, high, and heavy before you can say Cedro. Or may the maledictions of lousy fear fall like nettle rash on the White Friar's father that converted from moonshine, the foster mother of the first Nancy Free that ran off after the trumpedour that mangled Moore's melodies, and so upturned the torch shed of the star-daft journal writer to inspire the prime finisher to fell him the fir tree, out of which Cooper Funnymore planed the flat of the beer barrel on which my granddad's lustiest sat his seat on wisdom with my tante's petted sister for the cause of his joy. Amen. Poof! There's puff for ye beggar and plenty of it, and all about me breath. Glory, galore, and glory be, as broad as its lung, as long as a line, the valiantine vow of venerable Val Wisdom. If my jaws must brass away like the dewdrops on my leg, and the top-noted delivery you'd expected me in voice, Theo, to know who's warning from Daddy O'Dowd. Whew. What I'm wondering to myself who's, for there's a strong tendency to put it mildly by making me the medium. I feel spirits of itchery, ouching, come all over me, and only for the sludge hammer's force in my hand to hold them the darkness alone. What'll who be saying of next? However, now, before my upper erotic register, something nice. Now, dear sister in perfect leave again, I say take a brokerly advice and keep it to yourself, that we, John, first of our name, here, now, make all receptacles of free of price. Easy, my dear, if they tingle you, either say nothing or nod. No cheek-a-cheek with chipper-chopper, you and your last mash boy and the padre in the pox, enumerating you his nostrums. Be vacillant over those vigilant who would leave you to be loved, black on white. Close in for psychical hijinks as well, but fight shy among putters. Fire that would suffragate Tom Clyde fire or Zoff for all. Perusa in state, your weekly standard. Our virile organ is ethered by all Preston. Apply your 5 wits to the 4 verilatist. The Arstiskins entreaty on Miracula or viewed to death by a priest hunter is still first in the field despite the castle bar. William Archer's a romping good catalogue and he'll give you a riser on the route to a National Laboratory. Skim over through hell with the pappies, mostly boys, by the divine comic dentee alligator expunging your index, and find a quip in a choir, Arisus Arim from bastard title to Father Johnson, swear aloud by pious fiction the life of Lentil Lord, by Carnival Cullen, or that Percy Wins of our S.J. Finns, or peace in plenty by the curer of wars, licensed and censured by the most picturesque prelates, the graces of Linson and Petit Pois, bishops of Hibernites, Lisette ut Libanus, for expansion on the promise, the 2 best sells on the mark this luckiest year, set up by Gil, the father, put out by Gil, the son, circulating dismally at Gildehuli's cost. Strike up a nodding acquaintance for our doctrine with the works of old Mrs. Trott, Senior, and Manuel Cantor, Junior, and Lopa de Figes, Nates Maximum. I used to follow Mary Little Lamb's flitzy tales, especially with the sentimented sauce. Sifted science will do you a good, egg laid by former cock with flagolets in St. Fancy's land. Chiefly girls, trip over sacramental tea into the long lives of our saints and sacerdotes with the vignettes cut short into soats. Forfeit not the palsied. Light a match for poor old Contravalley and send some balm-oil for the schismatics. Ahem, in need is aye a friendly deed. Remember, maid, thou dost our powder, but Cinderella thou must return. What are you, robbing her sleeve for, Ruby? And pulling your tongue, Polly? Cog that out of your teen times, everyone! The lad who brooks no breeches lifts the lass that tops a tailor. How dare ye be laughing out of your mouth shine at the lack of that? Keep cool your fresh chastity, which is far better far, sooner than part with that Vestalite emerald of the first importance, descended to me by far from our family, which you treasure up so closely, where extremes meet, nay, Mosed, less mended. Rather let the whole ecumena universe belong to Mary Howe and do whatever his merry will. Known to all the Dali Tontis in and near the Ciudad of Buelas, Arias, talking to you, the plague house, to see the smirching of Venus, and asking with the whisper offers in a very low bearded voice, with a nice little tiny manner, in a very nice little tony way, won't you be an artist's moral and pose in your nudies as a local aesthetic before voluble masters? Introducing you left to right, the party comprises 2 Hogarths like Botticelli and Tintoretto, Vergonese and Coraggio with their extra hand, Machaccio, plus the usual Bilker's dozen of dowdy cameramen. life. Long since I have lived beneath vast porticos by many ocean sunsets, tinged and fired, where mighty pillars in majestic rows seemed like basaltic caves when they expired. The rolling surge that mirrored all the skies mingled its music, turbulent and rich, solemn and mystic, with the colors which the setting sun reflected in my eyes. And there I lived, in voluptuous calms, with splendors of blue sky and wandering wave, tended by many a naked, perfumed slave. Who fanned my languid brow with waving palms? They were my slaves. The only care they had to know what secret grief had made me sad. La vie antérieure. J'ai longtemps habité sur des vastes portiques que les soleils marins teignaient de mille feux et que leurs grands piliers attendaient sur le noir firmament. Grateful dead, in a thick soil with snails as rich as grease, I've longed to dig myself a good deep grave, to stretch my bones at eve and sleep in oblivion like a shark in a wave. Wills I detest and tombstones set in rows. Before I'd beg a tear of anyone, I'd rather go alive and let the crows bleed the last scrap of my old body. Oh, here comes a dead man, willing and happy, feasting philosophers, sons born of decay. Come burrow through my ruins, shed not a tear, but tell me if any torture is left to dread for this old soulless body, dead as the dead. Le mois joyeux, dans une terre grasse et pleine d'escargots, je veux creuser moi-même une fosse profonde où je puisse à loisir étaler mes vues et dormir dans l'oubli comme un requin dans l'ombre. J'ai les testaments et j'ai les tombeaux, plutôt que d'implorer une langue du monde. Vivant, j'aimerais mieux inviter les corbeaux à soigner tous les bouts de ma carcasse en monde. Au vert, noir, compagnon sans oreille et sans yeux, voyez venir à vous en mort libre et joyeux, philosophe, viveur, fille de la puritude, à travers ma ruine, allez donc sans roman, et dites-moi s'il est encore quelque torture, pour ce vieux con sans âme est mort parmi les morts. Otherwise, messing around skirts, what their fickling intentions look like, you make up your mind to that. trespassing on your danger zone in the dance of years. If I ever catch you at it, mind it's you that will cut you. I'll tackle you to feel if you have a few devils in you. Holy gun, I'll give it to you, hot, high, and heavy, before you can say Cedro. Or may the maledictions of lousy fear fall like the nettle rash on the white friar's father that converted from moonshine, the foster mother of the first Nancy Free that ran off after the troubadour that mangled Moore's melodies, and so upturned the tubshed of the starred-off journal writer to inspire the prime finisher to fell him the fir tree, out of which Cooper Funnymore planed the flat of the beer barrel, on which my grandy dad's lustiest sat his seat of unwisdom with my tante's petted sister for the cause of his joy, Amena. Poof! There's Puff Woody, babe, and planks the oven, all about me breath. Gore galore and glory be, as broad as it's long and as long as a line. The valiantine go, a venerable bow boosted. If my jaws must brass away like the dewdrops on my lay, and the top-noted delivery you'd expect it be in voice. Teo Dunuhu's warning from Daddy O'Dowd. Whew. What I'm wondering to myself, who's there's a strong tendency, to put it mildly, by making me the medium. I feel spirits of itchery ouching from all over me, and only for the sludge hummer's force in my hand to hold them that darkens alone knows who'll be saying of next. However, now, before my upper erotic register, something nice. Now, dear sister, and perfectly, if again I say, take a broccoli advice and keep it to yourself, that we, John, first of our name here, make all receptacles of free of price. Easy, my dear. If they tingle you, either say nothing or nod. No cheek-a-cheek with chipper chapper, you and your last mash boy and the padre in the post box enumerating you, his nostrums. Be vacillant over those vigilant who would leave you to belay black on white. Close in for psychical hijinks as well, but fight shy of mug hunters. I'd burn the books that grieve you and lighten a lalosundrian bonfire that would suffragate ply fire or Zolfanaro. Perusa instate your weekly standard on Vilan organ that is Ethelred by odd prestum. Apply your 5 wits to the 4 verilla test. The Archdiskins Entranti on Miracula, or viewed to death by a priest hunter, is still first in the field despite the castle bar. William Archers, a rampan good catalogue, will give you a riser on the route to a national lavandry. Skip through hell with the papists, mostly voiced by the divine comic Denti Alligator, expunging your index. And find a quip in a choir, Arisa Safalim, from bastard title to Father Johnson. Swear aloud by Pia's fiction, the like of lentil lore by Conorville Cullen, or that Percy wins about S.J. Finns, or peas in plenty by the curer of wars, licensed and censored by our most picturesque prelates, their graces of Linson and Petit Bois, bishops of Hibernites, licensed Labanus. For expansion on the promises, the 2 best sells on the market this luckiest year, set up by Gil the Father, put out by Gil the Son, circulating dismally at Gilly de Hooley's cost. Strike up a nodding acquaintance for a doctorate with the works of old Mrs. Trott, Sr., Emmanuel Cantor, Jr., and Loper de Figas, Nates Maximum. I used to follow Mary Little Lamb's flitzy tales, especially with the centaminted sauce. Sifted science will do your arts good. Egg laid by former cock with flagolettes in St. Francis land.
Okay, right. Thank you. That's
She's
Rey
taking
Wolf
it
on
off.
Reeds. Thank you, Ray.
Only another 320 pages to go. I think by tomorrow morning we can get to page 573.
Fantastic!
I'm so sorry. I got a transfer. We went over time. Please forgive. Okay. Well,
Did you really? Oh my God. Oh my God. Whoa! Jerry, that was intense.
oh, it's that
Oh
was.
my God.
Huge climation. Climation is wonderful. I love it.
Wow.
Oh, that's entertaining.
Well, you guys sounded fantastic.
Oh, thank you. All right, Lee.
Yes.
Please take the stage.
Okay.